Donna Murphy, Blythe, Brumleve, and Lauren Brooks with you to talk a little fan etiquette. During the Jaguars-Chargers game, Blake Bortles threw an interception with under 2 minutes left to play. You would have thought the game was over, and many fans did, as they started to exit the stadium in droves.
You know who you are?
I'm watching it right now.
Then the Jaguars were able to get the ball back, and Blake Bortles threw another interception. And, of course, at this point, fans thought the game was over. However, there were still 3 timeouts for the Jaguars. They were able to get the ball back and kick a field goal as time expired. And then the Jaguars went to overtime against the Chargers, and more fans left before overtime even had started. At this point, there's 10 minutes left on the clock. And, obviously, at that point, the Jaguars eventually end up winning after A.J. Boye intercepts Phillip Rivers, runs it back 51 yards. There's a little bit of a taunting penalty. Ball gets moved back to the 17-yard line. But regardless, Josh Lambo hits the game winner even after it's tipped. And if you weren't in the stands and you had tickets to that game at that point in time, weren't you kicking yourself that you missed an overtime victory at Everbank Field?
Even if you don't admit it, I think you're regretting it. I think you regret that as a fan for the rest of your life.
I don't know how you wouldn't admit it. You gotta man up. Yeah, I regret that. Like, how do you... No, of course.
Well, and for people at 1010XL that enjoy people listening to the game on the radio, certainly It's not a problem if you left the stadium, sprinted to your car. But yeah, for the fans that left, I know I had one person tell me, Buddy from Brucci's told me that they started to leave after the first pick, came back, and then said it was the best traffic he's ever sat in and didn't mind it at all because obviously he remained there for the win once he kind of, realized that there was a chance after that first pick.
That's got to be kind of fun, though, if people are sitting in traffic that left early, but they're all listening, to it on the radio, so you can still all celebrate together. We missed it, but
I think that no matter how you're enjoying the game, if you turn the TV off, if you leave the bar, if you leave the game, and your team is only down by 1 score, shame on you. Shame on you.
Yeah, but
that was my feeling.
You're used to this.
But this
like Lauren said, once the first interception happened, you knew it was going down.
Listen, I get that. I've been a season ticket holder for 10 plus years. I get that mentality, but this team is not in a similar position as they've been in the past 10 years. This is a team that has, going into this game, had 5 wins already in this season, and that's huge for this franchise. They were only down by 1 score. There is no excuse whatsoever for you to leave the game early. And I know there are fans in my season ticket section, and I'm gonna shame them next time I see them too. And it was actually kind of funny. You have to deal with your fanhood and your regret with leaving the game or whatsoever. That's my personal opinion, is you never leave when your team is down by 1 score. But there was a guy in the stands that was he was really funny because there were people leaving after the first interception, and then they started to come back. And when they started to come back, that's when the guy was yelling at him, and he's like, "I remember all your faces." He's like, "You better get your behinds back in the seats." And there's, obviously...
So what happens if they don't pull out the victory? Are you happy you stayed?
It's same old, same old.
Or are you like, damn, why didn't I leave early?
No. To me, you only leave early when the game is clearly out of hand.
Yeah,
you never, ever, ever leave when it's only 1 score. I don't care how you're watching it, whether you're listening to the radio, watching on TV, watching it out, however you're consuming the game, you don't leave it.
I walk away from the TV all the time. And it's not for the Jags, actually. It's more for New England. And TJ will be yelling at me, "What are you so mad at? They're winning." I'm like, "Bah! This is crap. They look like, and I'll just get angry and walk away."
Spoiled.
I know.
Spoiled.
But that's how I am. With the Red Sox, it'll be game 1. I don't care. Opening day. I'll turn them off. You're already
there's
making me
161
angry.
more of those games.
But that's how I was raised. I was raised, my dad would always get mad and leave the room and go.
I wouldn't say that I don't feel bad for the people who left necessarily, right? Like they're probably thinking, "Man, I can't believe I missed that." Like, and I'm not going to shame them because you get to do whatever you want, and then it's your memories that you're not going to have.
Yeah, it's on you, but shame on you.
Especially the first and second picks, I get it. You feel like you've seen this story written before, and you are trying to beat the traffic, and you remember, against the Rams, there was some really bad traffic leaving. That was probably the only game this year that there was bad traffic.
Zero traffic.
But it was when the game got to overtime and I saw fans leaving then that those are the ones that I wanted to say, do you not have any idea what's going on? Like, there's going to be more football left to play. You're not leaving with a tie yet. I mean, it may end up in a tie, but not right now. Those are the ones I kind of wanted to throttle and be like, can you please sit back down? You're not going to be missing any traffic at this point. So you need to watch overtime.
From a fan perspective, you're never going to remember the games that you left the game and it was great traffic. You're going to remember the moments like on Sunday when Lambeau hits that kick. And I, for one, was ecstatic that we stayed, got to enjoy it. Our entire wedding party was there to enjoy it. It was a fantastic win, and we immediately after the kick was made, we all run to the cabanas because that's our new, I guess, post-game tradition or post-win tradition is to run over to the cabanas pool area and just hang out there and get a couple more drinks and just keep the celebration going. And it was really a fun environment. It was probably one of the greatest weekends of my life, between being maid of honor, my best friend's wedding, and then having that overtime Jaguars victory. It was incredible.